Hi guys, so I'm back with another tutorial. This is a Valentine's Day inspired look. I really like doing this look and it's super simple, so let's jump into this tutorial. So as you guys know, I'm going to start off by prepping the skin. I'm going to use my witch hazel on a cotton pad. Just wipe down her face. And after that, I'm going to apply my clearance mattifying moisturizer. I'll show you guys at the end of this clip what it looks like, and I'll also show you guys all of the products that I'm using, what those look like as well, since you guys asked me to do so. And I don't apply any of these products with my fingers just because of sanitation purposes, so I just use a brush and just apply it all over the face. Once you use the witch hazel, it might dry out the skin, so you want to make sure that you're putting that moisture back into the skin before you apply any makeup. So that's why we're applying the clearance. And this is what it looks like. You can get it from Ulta. And then I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in the color Ebony. And I showed you guys how I did my brows in my last tutorial, but I'll show you guys again in this one just so you guys can kind of get it down pat. So I start by lining the bottom of the eyebrows and doing the same to the top, but I make sure that I start from the midpoint of the brow on the top. And then I'm going to go through and just fill everything in and flick up on the bottom once I get to the front of the brow so it doesn't end up looking really blocky. And then I'm going to take my spoolie and evenly distribute all of the product so it's not just sitting right there to get all through the brows, and it'll also help with any type of harshness you might have in the front. Then I'm going to take my Beauty Bakerie and LA Girl Pro Concealer and I mix those two. Like I said in my last tutorial, I think that the Beauty Bakery kind of sets too fast for me, at least for the under brow area. So I like to mix it with my LA Girl Pro Concealer. And then I'm starting at the arch to carve out the brow area. This way you're not going too far up if you start from the front. So I always start from the arch. And I'm taking my time. Again, this is in like the real speed. I'm not speeding it up, slowing it down or nothing. This is how long it takes me to do this process. So I really take my time. Once I get to the midpoint of the brow, I start from the front. Sometimes I might go from the back all the way to the front, but it really just depends on what gives me the best angle on how I'll do it. So as you can see, I'm just going back and forward to make sure I get the straightest line possible. And then I also like to lift up the brow as well. You guys will see in a moment. But I like to lift up the brow so I can really get that natural arch of how the brow is supposed to be shaped. And you guys will see like all of those little notches and stuff that I have in the brow. You really didn't see that before I had lifted it up. So this will really help you guys get it as straight as possible. And then once I get that straight line, I like to go through and thicken it up so it'll be easier whenever I get around to blending the under concealer. So now I'm going to go in with my Beauty Bakery foundation in 327 CN, and I'm just going to use that on the top of the brows. Sometimes I might mix it with the concealer, but because of our skin tone, this really suits it really nice. So I'm just going to go in with the foundation and I'm just outlining the top. I'm literally just dragging the brush so I can get it as flat as possible. You don't want to have a whole bunch of extra product around the brows because when you start blending it out, it'll start smudging into your brows and make a big mess. So you want to use very little product and just smear it on the top of the brows. Make sure you take your time and evenly distribute everything. As you can see, I'm dragging it so it'll lay flat. And then I'm going to go in through the middle just so I can make sure that my eyebrows are straight, and it'll also help for blending purposes. And then I'm just taking a fluffy brush and blending out all around the brow area. I blend out the top of the brows first just because it's a darker shade. Then I move on to the lids. I'm going to put some Louise base on her eyes. This is in 01. I didn't show it because I forgot. But it's the Louise base in 01. Then I'm just going to take that same brush and blend it all over the eye, making sure that I'm doing it really evenly. You want to have an even base because the Louise will make sure that everything is very pigmented, but if it's not evenly distributed, it'll look patchy. So I'm going to go into the Zulu palette by Juvia's Place, and I'm going to start tapping it onto the lid in a rounded shape. This is the same brush, but it's a clean brush. I don't know where I got this brush from. I'm sorry, guys. I probably got it off like Amazon or something, but I'm going to blend it out with a Morphe brush. This doesn't have any product on it, but I'm just using it to blend. And I'm going to be going back and forth between the denser brush and this pointed crease brush to make sure that I get it to the deepness of the pink that I want. Sometimes you might lose some of the color when you start blending, so I'm just going back and forth to make sure that I get it to the color that I want. So now I'm gonna go into the Morphe Hit The Lights palette, and I'm gonna just use this like reddish, pinkish, purplish color. And I'm just gonna go right below where I put that first pink shade. And then I'm gonna go back in and start blending it out with a clean brush. It doesn't have any product on it. And I'm just gonna apply this all over the lid. I want it to be like kind of a darker tone, the darkest tone of the pinks whenever I put on the glitter. So I'm just going to blend that out all over the eye. I am going to go back and forth just like I did before. And now I'm going to apply this shimmer shade from one of the custom pigments that I made for my cosmetic line that I was trying to launch. I'm thinking about relaunching it, but let me know what you guys think. That's what it looks like. And then I'm going to take Olaf from Star Crush Cosmetics, and I'm gonna apply that to the tear duct to brighten up the inner eye. I love like a bright tear duct. Like that's my thing, y'all. I love a bright tear duct. So I'm gonna apply that, and I'm gonna go back through and brighten it again. Just apply some more. I like to apply like a thin layer and then go back and then apply some more, just so it'll be like very vibrant. So as you can see, there's a difference between the two now. And then I'm going to take my dual lash glue and just apply that all over the lid. Not in a specific shape or anything, but just, you know, loosely all over the lid. So when I apply the glitter, it sticks. And then I'm going to use the NYX glitter. I think this is in Ruby Red. And I'm going to take a fluffy brush and just apply it all over. Using a fluffy brush to make sure that it doesn't stay like in one general area, that it'll be put on there loosely and give you like still the soft look that you're looking for. So then I'm going to take this Essence liquid liner. This is like my favorite liner, you guys. Like, I love this liquid liner. It's so easy to use over any other ones that I've used before. It dries down matte really well. So I start at the ends, and I'm not doing a wing liner with this look. I'm just doing basically like a tight line of her lash line. And And as you can see, the stick is really long, so that really helps when doing the liner. And then I'm going to use the NYX white liner and just go right over the black line. This will add like that extra pop to the look. I really like what this did for the look. So now I'm going to use my Maybelline Baby Skin Primer. And y'all, let me tell y'all, this primer is the bomb. Like, it'll blur out your skin so good. It's a universal primer, so it's good for any skin type. And it's a drugstore. It's a drugstore primer, so it's very affordable. Y'all, this primer is the shit. And then we're gonna go in with the same foundation that we use above the eyebrows. This is the Beauty Bakerie foundation in 327 CN. And I'm gonna take a brush and just apply a thin layer all over the face. This way I find that I get the most coverage while using the least amount of product. So a lot of the times people will say that their face feels heavy. This will prevent their face from feeling like they have a whole bunch of product on their face, but still get that full coverage look. So this is me just blending in the foundation. I'm using the Equals Tools brush. I don't know which brush this is. I got a part of a set, but this brush is everything too. It really gets that product distributed evenly all over the face. And another thing that I like to do once I finish blending with the brush is go back through with my beauty blender. This is a beauty blender from the Crayon Case. I love their beauty sponges. And I'm also going to use a setting spray from the Magic Collection. It's the coconut water one. This helps blend everything, like everything. You'll see like towards the end how her face just looks melted by the gods. And then I'm going to take my black Opal foundation stick. This is in the color Amber. And I'm not doing like a super deep contour for her, just because a lot of the times it can go left really fast on lighter tone clients. So I'm just using kind of a warm light brown color. Then I'm going to take my Beauty Bakerie concealers, and I'm going to take a concealer that's a little bit closer to her foundation shade, and I'm going to apply that to most of her concealer area, her highlighted areas. And then I'm going to go back through with that lighter shade afterwards and apply that more to her, more to the closer part of her under eyes. That way it's brightening where you want it to brighten. And this will also help when you're blending everything out. So I'm going to take my Real Technique setting brush. This brush is the bomb too, y'all. If you guys want me to show you a video of like all my favorite products or brushes or tools, comment that in the comments below. Let me know if you guys want to see that, because I do get a lot of questions on the products and the brushes that I use on my clients. So just blending in a tapping motion, never use a swiping motion. And I'm going to go back through and do her contour with the Real Techniques Instapop cheek brush. And I'm just doing a tapping motion as well. You want to make sure whenever you're blending out anything on the face, you don't do anything with the swiping motion, like at all. That way, where you're putting your product is staying in that area. And I'm going to take a slanted brush. It's like a slanted small kabuki brush almost. And I'm just blending out the contour that I put on her nose. On camera, it might look like I blended everything away, so you can't really tell. But in person, I can still see. I'm going to do a contour with powder afterwards, but I just get the general outline with the cream contour. And I'm going to use that same beauty sponge and go underneath the eye. This will help prevent any creasing underneath the eye, if you guys can tell the difference between the two eyes. And then I'm going to take my Morphe setting powder in Banana Rich. Y'all, this setting powder is life. Like, this setting powder is everything. I never ran out of any of the setting powders that I've used as fast as I've ran out of this one. Like, this is so bomb, y'all. I'm going to apply it with a sponge on her nose area, so I can make sure that I get it straight where her nose contour will be. And then I'm going to use a brush, the same Real Techniques brush, to apply it all over the rest of her face where I set it. And you also want to make sure that whenever you're setting, you want to apply powder to the sides of the mouth. A lot of the times people forget that area, but a lot of the times when you're smiling, it'll start creasing in those areas because you have laugh lines when you smile and everything. So by putting powder right there, it'll prevent creasing, and the makeup will last a lot longer that way. So that's just a little tip for you guys. And I apply it in a tapping motion. Sometimes I apply a little bit more powder, sometimes I don't. It all depends on the client, how oily or dry they get. And then I'm going to take my Duo Lash Glue and apply that to the lash line. Basically, I'm applying it to the black part of the liner. And again, this is what I use for my lash glue whenever I do a creative liner, like a double liner or a glitter liner, anything of that sort. I use the Duo Lash Glue because it dries down clear, but still gets the job done. And then I'm going to apply some mink lashes. These are lashes that I'm trying from a vendor. Let me know if you guys like them. I really like them. They're really full and fluffy. I like how they're kind of nappy. I like the nappy type of mink lashes so they don't look all plastic. And then I'm going to use the NYX Jumbo eyeliner in Milk and apply that to her waterline. I'm not applying it all the way through her waterline, just towards the middle. This way I feel like I don't get a super dull look, but it still opens her eyes a lot. And then I'm going to take the deep color that we use, not the first pink shade, but the second one. And then I'm going to tight line that underneath her waterline and just smoke it out a little bit. And after that, I'm going to swipe away all of the excess powder off of her face. Y'all, so this is a must. So I'm going to take the same setting spray as before, but it's the rose water version. And I'm going to take my beauty sponge and just tap it all over her face. This will prevent any sort of flashback you might get in your photos. Y'all, this is a lifesaver. I promise you. If you try that, you won't have any issues. So I'm going to start to do her nose contour. I learned this technique from this girl on Instagram. Her name is Flawless Faces by Brittany. Y'all, she's cold. She is so cold. Make sure y'all follow her on Instagram. But I saw she did a nose contour tutorial, so I decided I was gonna try it out. This is my first time trying out this technique, and I really liked it. I'm not perfect with it, y'all, but I think give me like 2 more tries, and honey, that nose will be flawless. But I'm just doing tapping motions and where her nose starts to curve out, just so I can get the general shape. And then I'm going to swipe it along the sides of her nose. And it might look really harsh now, but it's all gonna blend out, you guys. So as long as you get the shape that you're wanting, it won't be as hard. It won't be as harsh in the long run. And you want to use a light hand. Don't be too rough or anything like that, because then it's going to be harder to blend out. I'm literally like barely touching her, but I'm making sure that I have enough product on there where it still leaves a trace on her nose. And I'm also going to swipe the bottom of her nose just to make her nose look a little bit shorter. And as you can see, that's really harsh, but we're going to blend it all out. I'm going to use my setting brush as well as the foundation brush, and I think I used a sponge as well. I kind of went back and forward because some of the products would make it go away a little bit too much. Other ones would not do anything at all. So I had to go back and forth and really make sure I got it to where I liked it. Just keep blending it out. Like I said, this is my first time doing like a powder contour. I always do like a cream contour, you guys. So I really liked how it ended up turning out. And then I'm going to use the Juvia's Place Nefertiti highlighter. This highlighter is bomb.com too, you guys. And I'm just doing her nose contour, and then I'm apply the Bella blush by Juvia's Place as well onto the high points of her cheeks, and then use that same highlighter to apply on right above her contour. I always used to be like, why do people use blush? Like, blush is so stupid, but it actually adds a lot of color back into the face. So I'm going to take this ColourPop lip liner. Y'all, I was always looking for the perfect brown lip liner, and this is it. I promise, I'm done searching. This is it. It works beautifully. It's so creamy. It's amazing. I think this is in BFF number 3. Yeah, I think this is BFF number 3, y'all. This is the best brown lip liner. Oh my goodness. Like, y'all. Y'all see why I'll say that after this. But then I'm going to go in with a brown lip liner just to blend it out. This is one that I got from the beauty supply. And then I'm also going to apply Boy Toy from Morphe. It's a lipstick. And this adds for the perfect nude lip. When I say perfect, you can use it on any skin tone. Any skin tone, this lip combination is amazing. I always go for a gloss on my lips, but it could also work as a matte lipstick look. This is the perfect brown shade, y'all. And I was always looking for the perfect nude brown lip, and nobody would want to put me on. So I'm going to put y'all on. Try this combo. Let me know if you guys like it. Comment below if you guys like how this lip combo looks. And then to turn it into a gloss, I'm going to take this Morphe lip gloss in Flower Crown, and then I'm going to apply that only to the center part of her lips, basically where I apply the Boy Toy lipstick. And then I'm going to take a clear gloss that I got from the beauty supplies, only $1, and I'm going to apply that everywhere else on the lip. And this will really brighten up the brown shade, really brighten up all of the shades on the lip to give it that true color, so you guys can really see how bomb this lip combo is. And I'm also using a disposable brush. This is just my preference when applying the clear gloss. It kind of make sure that you don't put too much product on there, because I don't like how it feels when I have on too much gloss, so I know my clients don't. And then I'm gonna apply the setting spray, and that's the end of the look, y'all. I hope you guys really liked how this look turned out. I know I did. Comment below if you have any looks that you guys want me to try out. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.